So, I have 10 Switch games that I decided to set aside for this video, thanks to a random viewer and new subscriber on my channel who suggested this video. I'm going to be showing off 10 Nintendo Switch games that I feel that you must own as a Switch owner, and all these Switch games meet my criteria as far as games that always have like replayability, games that I feel pretty much meet my 5 requirements for keeping a game permanently for decades to come and playing it again and again. And I'll go over the 5 things I usually require for a game to have in order for it to remain in my collection. Very simple requirements, but without further delay, we'll just start off with the top one. It's all going to be in like alphabetical order, so no particular order as far as like rank wise or anything. I didn't bother with that. But if you're new to the channel, go ahead and like the video, subscribe, hit the bell icon, and all notifications. You'll be notified when I upload and go live. And any further suggestions in the future for any future videos, definitely feel free to comment below. But essentially just doing this unedited, and it's a little quicker to get these videos out. This past week I've been very busy, so I haven't been able to upload anything. But yeah, I'm uploading this weekend versus going live. So I do apologize. Yeah, we're going to be taking a break this weekend and the weekend after from live streaming. It's very busy for me at the moment, work-wise. So we will be back stronger than ever, live streaming again. Hopefully in a couple weeks from now, so we'll see. But I'll try to dish out content in the meantime. Here's the first game, Crosscode. Shout out to Pascal or Curveline Studios on Etsy. You can hit the link in the description below for his Etsy page, and you can basically buy these slipcovers yourself. Pretty much every slipcover that are custom that you see in this video today are all made by him, and they're all available right now to purchase. So I'm not going to open up the game or anything, but I'm just going to show it off and talk a little bit about it. Crosscode is an amazing game. I've talked about this game before on the channel, but to keep things brief, it essentially plays like an MMORPG minus the online interaction. So it actually has a sustainable like story, like it's its own thing. You play as a character in an MMORPG with other characters, and most of the time the characters do break the fourth wall from their own, because they are playing in a game world, and they talk about their own lives IRL. I do apologize for the dirty and dusty table here. I meant to clean it up, but anyway. But yeah, the characters are really lovable. Honestly, I'm going to go over the 5 things that I require for a game to be good, and then we'll move forward with the rest of these games. Number 1 is obviously story. The story in this game is amazing. I love the story. It keeps you on your toes and keeps you wanting to know more about this character, because she starts off with the obvious, trope with amnesia, but more to it, to the point where her speech module doesn't work and she's not able to talk to other players, which is very weird. So there's a lot of mystery behind her. And so yeah, story is amazing. The music is phenomenal. Like, I have not run into any piece of music in this game that has disappointed me at all. Like, every piece of music in this game just had me blown away. Number 3, obviously, is the characters themselves. The characters are very lovable. I love the characters. They're very memorable. I still think about a lot of the characters to this day, even after I've beaten it. Number 4 is New Game Plus. This game does have a New Game Plus. Not a lot of games that I keep in my list have New Game Plus, but it's always a nice thing to have. And then the 5th and final thing that I would probably have to pick is replayability. Like, is it even worth replaying? So, and this game is definitely worth replaying, especially with the New Game Plus. Some games, even without New Game Plus, is definitely not worth replaying sometimes. But some are. So, but either way, this game meets all the requirements for me to keep this game for decades to come. There is a difference between this one and this one, but I'm not going to spoil who they are. But yeah, either way, I highly recommend playing this. It's an action-filled RPG with a lot of hard puzzles. I will say that. So we're gonna set that to the side, probably upside down, so I can keep everything in order. Next up, of course, is Eastward. I highly, highly recommend getting Eastward. Keep in mind, all the games in this list are basically games that are easy for you to find right now, easy for you to purchase, whether it be locally at a GameStop or Walmart, or in some cases like this and this one, you can buy them on Amazon right now for really cheap. I'm talking about $30 for this game, possibly even $30 for Eastward. If you get the Japanese version, it is a little more expensive, but the Japanese cover does look nicer. Just keep in mind, if you were playing the English version of this game digitally, for some reason the physical Japanese has a different serial number, and you will not be able to continue your save file from this one. But it does have English support, so if you're just starting it fresh, pay a little more for the Japanese one. It looks really awesome. Eastward is pretty much a homage to games like Mother, like Earthbound. So it has a lot of feels like Earthbound, like it feels a lot like those games. The game makes you really, really want to interact with every single character in the game's world. Like I said, like story is just really engaging. The characters are really cool. I love the characters. I love every single one of them. And music is also great. It just, everything about this game is just really good, except like I would say I'm very, very conflicted about the final boss and the ending of this game. And I can't really spoil why. I might make a separate video about that, maybe do a thorough review on this if that's what you guys want to see eventually. But yeah, this game can get you questioning whether it's good or not at the end, I will say that. But at the end of the day, after analyzing the game in my head after the first time playing it, I'm like, yeah, I love this game. I will play it again and again. It gets very bizarre towards the end, I will say that. But it's definitely worth picking up. It's got a game within the game that's, I forgot the name of it, but it's essentially a Dragon Quest or Dragon Warrior type of game that you have the option to play, but you don't have to. It's quite interesting. And then when you beat the game, when you beat this main game, you have the option to go through your menu to be able to play that game separately if you wanted to. So it's a game within a game. It's really cool. I highly recommend it for those who really like Earthbound and Mother series. It's really fun. It's actually action based, so you don't have to worry about like turn-based battle or anything. Action based, kind of like this one. This one's obviously Crosscode is just a bit harder, and you have to really get good in this one. This one's not so bad. It is challenging, but I feel like anyone could play Eastward just fine. Meanwhile, Crosscode is more of an advanced player type of thing, so just a little warning about that. I forgot to mention that. But Eastward is great. I feel like anybody could pick this up and play it. And there's the back. Obviously, slipcover made by Curveline Studios. So every single slipcover minus Persona 5, which I'll show later. That's the only one that isn't made by him. So either way, Ghost Trick, Phantom Detective. Yes, this is another slipcover made by him. Link is in the description below, as I mentioned. I got the Japanese version here, but there is a US version of Ghost Trick. I have seen this locally at some stores, but you can buy it online easily. It's very cheap. And yeah, I highly recommend picking up Ghost Trick Phantom Detective if you can find it. It's really affordable, not too bad. I think I got this for about 45 bucks or so at the time. And it is a remake from the DS game, and they did a really good job with it. And honestly, the gameplay is phenomenal. I love everything about this game, like music, characters, gameplay, replayability, all that good stuff. I don't remember, by the way, back to Eastward, I don't remember if this has a New Game Plus or not, but replayability-wise, I would still replay this game. I forgot to mention that. Ghost Trick, I don't think it has a New Game Plus either. I don't really think it needs one, but replayability, I would still play this game again and again in the future. It is so much fun. It is puzzle-heavy. It's essentially a visual novel type of game, and you have to solve puzzles. So it's really, it can get pretty hard, but I will say it is definitely worth picking up and playing. I love this game. I never beat it back then on the DS, and I'm glad I picked it up again on the Switch to play it again to completion. This game is phenomenal. I love the story. The twists and everything are really cool. Because like this character doesn't really know how he died or what happened, so he wants to find out his own mystery, all while trying to save this girl from being killed for the 1000th time. So every character is amazing in their own way, and just finding out who this guy is and like his whole story and everything it's a really big twist at the end. It's definitely worth the hours put into this. Not a very long game, honestly, but yeah, I definitely recommend it. Next up, Little Witch no Beta. I have the Japanese version of Little Witch no Beta. I actually originally picked up the original game itself off of Play Asia, but they now have a US version of this game that is a bit easier to purchase if you cannot find it any locally. Sorry, words. I had a stroke there. If you can't find it locally at any stores, you could find this online easily. Like I said, they have the US version. It is definitely worth the price. It is a bit short. I want to say anywhere between 3 to 6 hours long, but it is a fun dungeon-based game. It's essentially like a Metroidvania, but like a 3D Metroidvania, like a dungeon type of Metroidvania game. And like I said, it's very short, but it can get pretty hard, and it's definitely well worth getting. This is a steelbook that was available for the Japanese version, so but it's kind of different than any other steelbook I've ever seen. But yeah, this game's really cool. Like I said, it can be very hard at first, but once you start leveling up the character like crazy to a high enough level, you become OP, like way overpowered mid-game, if not even towards the end. Game gets very confusing, very hard, real fast. Final boss is no joke, and story is quite confusing, like Kingdom Hearts level of confusing, but it is a really good story overall. It's very simple. It's not like an amazing story, because it kind of just throws it into your face at the end, but it does keep you questioning what's going on, all while kind of leaving you satisfied with the ending in a way. If you just want to pick up a game and just play as a little witch and shoot her magic like a gun, look no further than this. It's really fun. I love this game. Next up is the MegaMan Battle Network Legacy Collection. Another custom slipcover from Curveline Studios. Link is in the description, as I mentioned before. Now, a lot of Mega Man fans who like regular Mega Man games, such as the original Mega Man series or Mega Man X and all that, usually don't like this game that much. They prefer like the side-scrolling part, and that's perfectly fine. But I will say this: if you like Pokemon, and if you like if you like Pokemon but wish Pokemon was a little more action-based, all while still being like in an area that you can battle, look no further than this series. Like, you pretty much, Mega Man is your Pokemon. You get to send chips, essentially computer chips to him, and he's able to use them as his special powers, and he's still able to attack with his Buster Blaster on his own. And there's like over 6 games in this series, and they're all tied together story-wise, and there are different versions of each game, so you essentially have more than 6 games to choose from in here. The 6 main games all tie together, like I said, story-wise, and wrap up really nicely. You can honestly pick any game at any time and jump into them, and they're all one-off games too. You don't have to really connect them together, but it's definitely more than rewarding to play all games in order with whatever version you want to play. So, yeah, for this small little package deal, $60 honestly is really, really good for this whole package deal. You would love Mega Man Battle Network. It's a great story, great music, great overworld. I will say the third game and forward are all the better games. The first 2 games are tough to get through, I will say that. But I have played this game. I have played the first game on the channel already. I'll try to leave a link in the description below so you can see my playthrough of that. I am going to dive into the second game later on once I finish up Final Fantasy 1 Pixel Remaster that I'm currently live streaming right now. So once again, subscribe if you haven't already. So definitely pick this up while you can still find it, because this is a great collection for a very unique Mega Man experience. It takes that Pokemon battle, but instead of it being like a turn-based battle thing, it's kind of like a hybrid between that and action-based. It's really good. I can't recommend that collection enough. All right, another game that you really should pick up, and I mentioned it earlier, is Persona 5 Royal Edition. This game, you need to pick it up before it becomes hard to find. I would say this is probably the best version of Persona 5 right now. You could easily buy it on PlayStation as well if you wanted to. I played this game all the way through for the first time ever on the Nintendo Switch on my own, and poured over, like, I think 123 plus hours into this game. And minimum, according to Google, you will probably put in over 110 hours, maybe even more, depending on how long you take doing side missions and all that in the game. I will say it was very intimidating at first getting into such a long game, because knowing how long it is. But the more I got into it, the more I wanted to play. I love every single character. I wanted to build up my relationship with every character as much as possible. I wanted to build myself up as a character in this game. Like, there's just so much to do each and every, like, in-game day. Like, before you know it, you'll end up playing this game and it'll be wee hours of the morning and you're like, oh crap, I really need to stop playing and go to bed. Like, it gets you that invested. This is the Steelbook edition, of course, that does come with a Steelbook. It comes with this flimsy, I say flimsy, but it's not really too flimsy, cardboard slipcover. But as you can see, over time, it's going to wear off. I'm thinking about getting a custom slipcover, or the slipcover from Curveline Studios that makes these custom slipcovers, because he did make one of these for this game, as well as Shin Megami Tensei 5 and so on. And I kind of want to get that and put this away and keep the cardboard as in good condition as possible, while keeping his custom slipcover, on the shelf with the other games. So yeah, Persona 5 Royal. Definitely pick this game up if you're willing to pour in 100 plus hours into a game. This is definitely one of them. It's definitely unique on its gameplay. It is turn-based battle, but it's honestly done in a way that I really like. You're able to do this thing called baton pass, where you're able to essentially high five another character, and they restore a little bit of health and a little bit of their special meter, which is essentially magic points used for using their special attacks, and it'll basically raise their health a little bit and their MP meter or SP meter by a little bit as you high five them. So it's really cool. It's interactive. I love it. There are special techniques. There's just so much to this game. I would literally be here all day trying to talk about this game, so I'm not going to do that. But I highly recommend getting it if you can. Really, really good. Also, very, very dark story. I will say that, so be prepared. All right, so we have 4 games left here. Next up, we have Sea of Stars, another game that I have a custom slipcover from Curveline Studios. And here's a reverse cover on the inside. This is the IM 8-bit version. I used to have the Japanese version, but the IM 8-bit version has a later revision. So as soon as I got this, I pretty much sold the Japanese one I had. Sea of Stars is a phenomenal game. Like, I can't speak on this game enough in this video, but so that way I don't, sorry for that noise in the background, my PS5 controller just disconnected because I still have it on. Was watching some YouTube videos myself. But yeah, Sea of Stars, great game. 30-something hour game, maybe even more. I spent over 40 plus hours into this game just because I got lost in this world, and I wanted to make sure I 100%ed this game, and I did. And no regrets. I love this game. The game does have 2 different endings. There's a regular ending, and then the true ending. I found out, I ended up looking it up online and followed a guide on how to get the true ending, because it is very convoluted and very specific. So I highly recommend doing that, and you will not be disappointed. It is a very good game. Music is very good. There are times that the music can sound a little repetitive at times, but honestly, I'm all for the music in this game. The story is great. The characters are amazing. Everything about this game, I love it. I love it so much. I don't remember if it has a New Game Plus or not. Speaking of New Game Plus, Persona 5 Royal does have New Game Plus, so even if you miss some things, it's always good to revisit it. This doesn't have a New Game Plus. Little Witch No Beta technically does have a New Game Plus, but I would Google that if I were you, and so on. So let's put that back. I just forgot to briefly mention that. I do apologize for this video being so long. If you made it this far, please like the video, subscribe. So yeah, Sea of Stars is phenomenal. I highly recommend getting it. You can literally buy it anywhere right now. Stardew Valley. I had to bring Stardew Valley in here. This is a great game to play with friends and by yourself. It's very relaxing. Yeah, you can get lost into this game for many, many hours. You can still buy it right now online on fangamer.com for about $30. I highly recommend it because they do have the latest revision stocked right now that has all the newest free like updates and patches all on cart. So I highly recommend getting it. And yeah, no, you can pour many hours into this game. It's essentially like a mixture between like a farming simulator game, it's like a dating simulator, and a dungeon crawling game all at once, including like fishing and other stuff. Like it is a lot. There's a whole lot in this game, and like I said, if you could play this with some other friends, it makes it much more fun to play. Even by yourself, it's not so bad. It'll just take you a lot longer to get an established world, but man, I can't get enough of this game. I highly recommend it. And that's coming from me. I don't like farm simulators, but this is great. No New Game Plus or anything like that. Characters are great. Music is good. All right, so Zelda Skyward Sword HD. Yes. I said yes, like one of those guys is like yes. Skyward Sword, yes. Oh god, what is wrong with me? Sorry guys, but yeah, get Skyward Sword specifically on the Switch. Like, if you had a bad time with this game on the Wii, I guarantee you'll have a much better time playing this on the Switch. Play it in button mode, meaning get a Pro controller or play with your Joy-Cons in a Joy-Con grip. Play it in like just hand controller button mode, and it is a little weird. I will say that it will take some time to get used to, but it's not so bad. Honestly, that alone right there made me love this game way more than I did in the past, and I finally completed this game. I beat it. I beat the game. I didn't 100% it, but I beat the main game finally. And honestly, I look forward to playing this game again and again in the future. So, another custom slipcover. You know where the link is in the description to get one of these. So, yeah, no, I pick it up while you still can. Skyward Sword is such a phenomenal game. Last but not least, Xenoblade Chronicles 3. I had to mention Xenoblade Chronicles 3 because, man, this game is great. You do not need to play the other Xenoblade Chronicles. I almost had a stroke there again. You do not need to play any of the other Xenoblade Chronicles games to play this one. However, if you have played the other games, I highly recommend playing this after playing the other games to kind of get what's going on in the background and honestly appreciate the game a bit more. But like I said, you do not have to play the other games to play this game at all. I would not recommend playing the DLC, however, which has a prequel story to it, unless you play the other games though. But the main game itself, I recommend it for anybody. It is phenomenal. It is great. The combat is okay. It just feels like the game is mostly playing itself most of the time. You'll see what I mean if you actually pick this game up. But other than that, the music and the story and the characters themselves more than make up for that lack of combat. And the combat's okay. It is engaging. It's quite fun. But then it becomes mind-numbing over time. But I will say, out of all the cons, the pros outweigh the cons in this game. Like I said, everything is just, oh my god, I love this game. I poured in many, many hours into this game, almost close to 100 hours, and I will gladly dive into it again with a new game plus someday. And that will definitely make for a better replay in the future. So, but let me know what you guys think of this video and all of the games I chose here today. Let me know if you agree with anything I have. I think I have. Yeah, let me show the other side. But yeah, let me know what you guys think and if you agree with my list here. These are the... Sorry, I bumped into the camera there. These are the top 10 Switch games that I feel that you must have for your collection, especially as a gamer. These games, I love them. These games I will play again and again in the future. So, thank you so much for watching. If you made it this far in the video, like the video, subscribe, hit the bell icon and all notifications. Leave me a blue heart emoji in the comments. That'll let me know you made it this far in the video. And also leave any suggestions for future videos if you want me to talk about certain games and so on. I don't mind doing a discussion video where I just talk about like one single game. Whether you want to see an unedited version of that where I'm just talking about the game and showing off the case itself as I'm talking about it, or if I should do an edited video in the future. Editing does take some time, so for right now, the unedited series like this, honestly, is something that is easier for me to do. So, but anyway, let me know what you think in the comments. Leave me a blue heart emoji. I'll heart your comment. You want to join the Discord? Link is in the description below. You must be 18 years of age or older to join. And please be courteous of others. Read the rules and regulations. And don't spam. Thank you so much for watching, guys. You are awesome. Be safe. And bye-bye.